Okay, you ready for the third one? You ready for the next one?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. It's called Uncle Max and the Robbery. So, as I told you, my father came from a very large family. He had 5 brothers and 4 sisters. These people are all very colorful characters, and lots of hilarious stories swirled around them. This story is about my Uncle Max. Now, Max was the second oldest brother. He was married to my Aunt Sadie, a very beautiful woman. You have to remember that there were 14 children, and my father was the youngest. By the time I was born, there was a very large difference between the older brothers and sisters and my father. And I had cousins who could have been the ages of uncles and aunts. But sadly, this was not the closest of families, and there were always feuds between them, and you needed a scorecard to know who was talking to whom and who was not talking to whom. Anyway, Uncle Max never had any children, and as a result, he would never attend a wedding, a bar mitzvah, or any kind of thing like that because he said he was not going to give out all these gifts and never get a chance to get any of them back. He was, to put it nicely, very involved with his money and very reluctant to part with any of it. He owned a used car lot, and I am sure he drove a very hard deal. And he was like the typical stereotype of a used car salesman, somebody that everybody loves to ridicule, and in his case, I suspect rightly so. Well, one day some poor crook decided that they're going to rob my Uncle Max's car lot. Now, this crook did not know my Uncle Max, or he might have had second thoughts, even third thoughts. Whatever happened when the actual holdup occurred, the crook entered with a gun and thought, ha ha, that this would be a piece of cake to rob my Uncle Max. However, the next morning, when the Daily News came hot off the presses, there on the front page was a picture of my Uncle Max. The crook was hovering in a chair, and my Uncle Max was holding a gun to the head of the thug. He was a hero. My father looked at the paper and he said, I'm not surprised. Max is going to give somebody money? Never! This guy would have been lucky if he got hit by a truck on the way to the car lot instead of having to face my Uncle Max. I guess if that hold-up man knew Max the way the family did, he would never have gone anywhere near that car lot. And maybe he learned his lesson that day and went straight after that. That's the story about Uncle Max and the robbery.